Hi everyone, today I'm painting for the first time in years. Basically, I used to paint sometimes, but then a few years ago I stopped doing it, so now I'm trying to do it again. I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to paint, but I sort of, put these three colors on here and I was like, I'm gonna do some sort of sky or something. When I started making it, my plan was to make it sort of a calm, maybe even nostalgic looking sky, but that changes later. Here I discovered that if you leave the paint on the canvas without using the brush to brush it out, then it's gonna leave a little dot like that on the paint that was already there. I also think I underestimated how much paint it takes to fill up the canvas because it wasn't really spreading that far and I had to keep adding more paint. I was getting bored with it, so I decided to add some pink because I really like pink, but it was an old paint and I guess I didn't shake it up well enough. So yeah, it looks like that. I'm trying to mix it here, but it's just taking more paint off of, under it. So, I feel like this is not a good thing, but as you can see later, I'm gonna fix it, alright? I promise, I'm gonna fix it. I wanted it to seem a little more magical, so I got some of this, sparkly purple paint that I found. And then, you see, I didn't think it would be so, clear. Look at that. That is literally glue with sparkles. I don't even know what I was doing. As you can see, my hand froze because I was like, what? But then I started to like it. Then this happened. So basically the paint at the bottom was, not dry, then it smeared. Look at the top though. I really like how that looks. I think it's so pretty. I wanted to add something, and also I thought it would be best to, cover up most of it where the paint wasn't dry and got smeared. So I used some black paint to draw the base of waterfalls. So this is going to turn into waterfalls, as you will see later. I am going to add green and, white for water and stuff like that. But basically the story behind this is, at first I just wanted to do a very sky-like painting. So I didn't actually want to have any sort of waterfall structure to begin with. I wanted to do maybe clouds or, maybe even just some sort of random object. I don't know, I wanted it to be symbolic. But then after putting the sparkly paint on, I was like, well, that's a whole different emotion, right? And so I was like, I think waterfalls will go with this well. At the end, you can see that the direction of the water doesn't really make sense. Especially in two waterfalls that are together. They don't really make a lot of sense, but that's okay because it doesn't have to make sense. Then down here I added some blue for water. This was kind of confusing because I was like, well, how much of a reflection of light do I want on the water? But, it's fine. This is how it turned out. Like I said, the direction of water doesn't really make a lot of sense in some places, but that's just fine. I honestly like how it turned out, and I did have fun, so I do want to paint again sometime. Thanks for watching.